Ankle.
Yeah, good morning.
All right, guys. Have a look at this. Okay. Hey, guys, I've got a test coming up on this next week after. So okay. You are being recorded, so careful what you say. That applies to you as well. So a reminder, okay, if you have graphs of the form, just a number, absolute value of x. They will all have that shape and they'll go through the origin, right?
Yes.
As the number increases, the gradient increases, they get steeper. That was a half, that was 1 root x, that was 3 root x, that was 6 root x, right? Okay, so the gradient of each branch gets steeper. Okay, right, time 25 minutes and now somebody. Okay, right, then. Come on, stupid thing. Right, okay. Right, hit that board. No. Okay. If you have a negative coefficient, like parabolas like negative x squared, all your y coordinates will end up negative. It will be below. Also goes with the origin, pick one other point, label it, use symmetry. Okay, again, the more negative the number, the steeper it is. Vertical shifts. Okay, page 28. Okay, so that if you move that 4 units down, so any graph in the world, what do we say? If we move it 4 down, what's everyone going to become?
Minus 4.
Y is equal to absolute value of x minus 4. And nachi is a fine fruit. I think that might be one of the best. A nachi.
Not a mango.
A nachi. I think nachi is up there with a good nachi. Bad nachi, not so great. But a good nachi is given a mark of 10.
No, what is? Why did I make the on that was for me?
Watermelon, 10 out of, but it has to be good watermelon. Someone said to me the other day, I think it was Sophie, she said a good watermelon is better than good pineapple, but pineapple in general.
Pineapple.
Yes, that's the point. Good
Watermelon is the best in the world. Bad watermelon is very bad. And bad watermelon can make you sick quite a lot. Okay, right. So, right, this one over here. Right, the next one. Y is equal to negative 2 root x translated 3 units up. Okay, so all you're going to do is what, guys? Good, add 3 to the end.
So enthusiastic. So have you ever heard of good pineapple? Hints.
No, it's good. All is actually bad.
Negative. And then.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Good.
I like the pineapple, but I'm not.
Okay, so what's your favorite? What's one of your favorites?
I like a good watermelon is delicious. Good night is delicious.
So many small like mangoes.
Good mango is one.
Okay, I'll put mango with bad mangoes.
I don't like it.
So you don't use it this right? It's
Apple,
both
I can
mango.
only eat apple really if I cut it up.
No.
A biting apple, you know why?
But is a good mango better than a good pineapple?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Good. So,
Most people very good mango. And what you don't get any more often of, they used to get a lot, but I think I will export tonight, is a good lychee.
yeah. Oh.
That's a fine thing. And a good grape is also a fine thing. Right. All right. So lucky people watching this recording. Right. So now I've got y is equal to a root x plus c. Right. So if you're going to sketch one of these, so you have a little step, right? Okay, to sketch the fancy word in a parabola, we talk about a salient, in an absolute value graph, we talk about a salient point, right? Okay. So here, if you've got a root x plus q, okay, it's vertically shifted. Okay, the salient point will be 0, q. Okay, that'll be the coordinates. Okay, because it's shifted up and down. So what your method's going to be, just give me a second, Tony. Okay, you got to get the shape depending on a being positive or negative. How do you do that? Positive, happy, negative, sad. Use the first 2 points to determine if the graph will have x-intercepts. So sometimes, once you've got your salient point, so I would plot the salient point. If you have an absolute value graph, so now you've got the salient point over there, and it's got this shape. Okay, will it have x-intercepts?
No.
No, so you don't have to bother to go find them. If you do go try to find them, you'll end up with this situation. Okay, so you'd end up with something like absolute value of x minus 2 is equal to negative 3, which has got no solution. So you could pick it up from there. But this is generally the way I fetch them. Okay, however, if this was the salient point, okay, and it was positive, okay, then I would go find the x-intercepts. How would I find them? By subbing in y is equal to naught. Every absolute value has a y-intercept. Okay. If there's no x-intercept, you must find another point by choosing a random x value. Okay. When you sketch, it has to be labeled. Okay. Right. And as well as all intercepts. Right. Okay. Even if we don't say to you explicitly on any graph, guys, okay, you have to label all intercepts. Okay, no matter what kind of graph, unless they explicitly tell you otherwise. You have to label the intercepts, you have to label parabolas, you have to label turning points as well. Okay, in hyperbolas, you have to label asymptotes. Okay, yeah.
But I'm just clarifying. So for example, if it's like a negative and so the sad, then the salient point is, for example, below the x-axis is negative. You don't have to find. And then
So
the
that's
same
just
thing applies if it's like
happy and above, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I used to do a rough sketch and then I don't waste my time. Okay, but I'll show you what happens if there are. If there aren't, then you forget to check. Okay, so we've got to sketch that. There's the question. Okay, so f of x is equal to root x minus 4. First of all, I want you to go, my working, go scribble the shape. Okay. Then tell me what the coordinate of the salient point. Just do those two things for now. Good email. What's the shape? What are the coordinates of the salient point? Did somebody start to type? Yeah. Okay. Think about my fridge. It's in front of the fridge. Okay. All the fridge names on.
Oh.
Right. So what? Not what's inside the fridge. Don't worry. Right. So what's the shape? You know, happy or sad? Happy, right? So the shape's going to be like this. And what's your coordinates of your salient point?
0 and
Okay, so it's going to go through 0, -4. Okay, which is somewhere over here, and it's going to be happy. Is it going to cut the x-axis?
yes.
Right. So now you're going to go. You with me? That's where it turns. So this is your salient point. Okay. And it's going to be happy, so it's going to cut the x-axis, right? So go find your x-intercepts. Notice how we're not using the definition at all here. Okay, we're not going to normally sketch without the definition. So you're going to sub in y is equal to 0. Maybe I'm in the wrong too.
Wait, so what do you say?
So what could x be, guys?
+1.
X could be 4, x could be -4, right? If you had a question which said to you, what are the coordinates of the x-intercept, what would you write?
Okay, 0
And
-4.
as I ask you for the coordinates, it would be 4, 0 and -4, 0. Okay, so go label those. From there, 4, and -4. Okay, and I've got my y-intercept. At this stage, the y-intercept is going to be the same thing as the salient point. Then I get your ruler output and square. Then what can be on? I'm going to tell you, hey, where is she? What is she doing? She's still.
She like built no.
I was a detective. Because for a while, that's some game which is a detective.
She was a two fast standing for it.
And she built a city, she built a snow
resort thing.
Yes.
And she built a graveyard.
It's meant to be.
I got it right. Yeah.
Indeed. High five yourself. Okay, right. So ruler, pitching, stick an arrow at the end. Chong, stick an arrow at the end. Okay, right. Don't write this down. Okay, what is, tell me, no, write that down. Don't write down what I'm about to do now. Don't tell me the domain of that function. Think about it and then point to somebody now. You get it wrong? Okay. Domain. What's the domain of this function? Don't put your hands up. Go. What's the domain? He passed it to her neighbor. What's the domain? What does domain mean? What can I put into that function? Is there anything that's going to break this machine? Is there anything that will cause an undefined answer there? No, there's nothing I can put in that will make that thing undefined, right? So I can put anything into that function. So what's your domain? Your domain is X is the element of? Okay. All of your actual value graphs will have that domain at this stage.
The range is going.
Okay, what's your range? Okay. Right, next question coming up. I'm going to point to you. Now we've got issue head left. Okay. To your pair. Range. You're on the pair, you didn't get head left. Okay. Right. Put your hands down. Range, you should be chatting to your neighbor. What's the range? 20 seconds. Okay. What are we doing?
Use one.
The water talk chat.
Yes.
Range.
Yes.
Right. Now, I'm going to take somebody. Take somebody. Hands down. Right. Masana. Who's your partner?
Yeah.
You and Zian, tell me what the range is, please.
The range is
One.
y is greater than or equal to -4.
Okay, correct. Right. Okay, then I'm going to drop it my head.
Oh.
Okay. Right.
It's fine.
Okay, next one. What is the equation of the axis of symmetry? You think you know that. Or you think part of
Yes.
a couple. Yeah, that's fine. But it's the equation of the axis of symmetry. Right. Right. 3, 2, 1. Bianca, what's the equation of the axis of symmetry? You and your neighbor. Tell me please. Right, fine. Right. What is the equation of the axis of symmetry? The way you looked at Gabby. You were starting to teach her. Right, okay. So x is equal to 0. Right. Axis of symmetry is a mirror line, guys. You don't draw it unless they're specified. Where the graph reflects upon itself. Okay? Something that you guys should do more of. Right, okay. Try the next one. Right, off you go. First of all, start the work. You go. Always get into the habit. I would always, otherwise you'll make careless mistake. Okay, so you want to do the shape and the salient points. Just do those two things first. No, you have to have two values. You know, if I play the actual value thing, but they're not going to be so you know. Okay, right. Shape, please. Football. Happy or sad? Salient point 0. Okay, so now, okay, it turns at 0, -3, and it's sad, right? Is it going to have x-intercepts? No, but let's just say you forgot to do that, right? Or you didn't do that. Okay, this is what would happen. So you say, oh, good times. I'm going to go find my x-intercepts. So I let y be equal to 0, and I get this, right? What happens? You end up with 3 over -2. You with me? Is equal to, I just took that across and then divided by -2. Can the absolute value of something be negative?
No.
No. So if you forgot to check, then that's fine. All that means is there's no solution to that. And if there's no solution to that, it means there's no x-intercepts. Okay. But you don't have to show that if you just recognize that it turns here and it's negative, so it's not going to ever cut the x-axis. So if it doesn't cut the x-axis, there are millions of graphs that turn here, right? But just like the ones yesterday, what do you have to do? Find some other random x value. That's easy. Pick an x number. Pick a number.
2.
Okay. Maybe pick one. Yeah. Okay, 2. All right. Pick 2 or 1. Okay. So x is 2. What do you get for y? Put it back. 1.
7.
You're going to get -2 times 2, which is -4. Okay, so you get y is equal to -7. So what's another point in this graph?
It's going to be 2 semicolons.
Okay, 2 and -7, which is over. Yeah, 2 -7. You did 1, you would have got 1 and. You could have done 1. If you'd done 1, you would have got 1 and. Doesn't matter what point it is. It would have been -2 minus 1 and -5. Eh? But whatever point you pick, label it. You're normally not going to have a grid either. Okay, and have something nice. Right? So you just label this point, you just say in point, okay, which is kind of labeled already. Okay, and then label one other point to -7. You don't have to do both, just pick a random one. You could have picked one negative. Just pick me an x value to get the shape right. You with me? So that's my 1/2 of the graph. And hey, if 2 -7 is a point on that graph, using symmetry, what's another point? 2 -7 is a point.
-2, 7.
Good.
-7.
-2, -7. -2, -7. Take your ruler and fatua.
It's going to be like a nice straight line.
They'll always be straight lines.
It will always be.
At this stage, yes.
Oh,
Okay, it's always a ruler.
great stuff.
Always straight lines. Okay, you know what questions are coming for you and your partner? Domain, range, axis, symmetry. 2 minutes, 1 minute to discuss. Domain, range, axis, symmetry. Have you taken the main range axis symmetry?
Sort of like that now. Minutes.
Yeah, but that's it, okay? So after that, so. And because behind the only.
All right, that's that. Nina, first one, domain.
The main is X element of R.
X is element of reals. Good. Wait. What is the range?
X, sorry, y is smaller than or equal to -3. No?
Yes, you're right. Y is less than or equal to -3. Okay. And because they think they're off the hook, study what's the equation of the axis symmetry? I'm watching you three.
No, look away.
Look away, all of you. Yes. Yeah,
Go.
Right. Try the next one. Have you got the time?
Me,
How long are we going to
6 minutes.
go? Okay, right. Let's do the next one. Okay. Both with the same thing. Shape. Alex. Right. Shape is sad, right? And the salient point is going to be 0 and 6. So it's going to turn here and sad. Is it going to cut the x-axis?
Yeah.
So I'm going to find the x-intercept.
No. So if it cuts the x-axis, you don't need to do that thing where we pick random numbers.
No. No, only if you don't have, because then you've got two kind of anchor points. If you don't have those anchor points, then you have to.
It's not that courage. Wait, it's just.
Amron said, man, he's like a different person in Croatia. Speaking by the way.
She's like an island girl. She said, please.
And when you arrive at your practice, go to and say, Adam, how's your eye?
Imagine.
You're in Croatia.
Except that,
Actually, we're just so happy everywhere we went.
except for Tuesday.
All right. So, right, there's my, so did you get intercept of 3, 0 and negative 3, 0?
Yeah.
Plus or minus 3. Okay, so when you draw this guy, okay, we're going to have 3, 0, negative 3, 0. Okay, straight lines. Okay. Right. 6, negative 3, 3. Right, you know what's coming? The main range, actually, sorry. Here's the problem now, off the bottom.
Oh, one.
Because we've done it 3 times. So we take off the lid.
Yo, they don't realize it's joint less than the otherwise.
The main range axis. And if you check with your neighbor, you get 30 seconds.
I'm thinking That's not my fault though.
Yeah, it's my things to also. Yeah, okay, is it off?
10 seconds.
Yeah.
That's all right. So did you say so? Yeah.
Yeah, right, okay. Right, let's go. So domain.
X is an element of the.
Exactly. Right. Nobody, range. You and Maya.
Why is less than equal to?
Well, that y less than equal to 6. Okay, and we find out the equation of the axis symmetry. Yes, you guys. Okay. Right, how much time?
1 minute.
Alright.
We got any breaks.
Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes from now. Right, you're on your break. 5 minutes.
I'm going.
12:37 on my watch. You go to shop if you want to.
Gabby, give me something, I'm hungry.
Thank you.
I love you.
Please stay with you. Sit.
Your sense is not bad. That was so bad. Yeah, which is negative.
Are you going to do fast?
I saw the movie. Up on the So it is. You're pretty dirty. My game.
So, actually, no. I have a vote to make with you because why have I been delivered? Is that new? Is that new? Why have I been delivered for the next 10 minutes? Oh, and I see
Sorry.
you right now.
Sorry. I've got a question, please. You think you did?
Actually, guys, if I don't have a date by the end of September next week, I'm not gonna go.
Oh, he's going to that.
Oh, let's see. Mark my words. Oh, I was so bad. Wait, it's not that serious.
What?
Important is our presentation that you want to wait. It was important. I want to ask you and you need to hear. Oh, it works. Okay, I'm coming back. I want to go and pick it. You see, even certain literally just like to come back to the whole thing. That's this picture or something. Yeah. Like. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Damn. Eu, Bianca, da mão.
Oh. Whatever that is. Girl. It's a cheese already. Yeah. It's actually disgusting. Please. Excuse me. Let me actually find you first, please. Please. Yeah. Oh my god. I'm on a video and that is so rude. August 7th. How long is August 17th from now? It's like a whole month. Oh my gosh, we're live from this now. Yeah, send you photos and this is what so much you keep me at the level. That's so you're gonna have nice photos, but like please send them to me. I mean, you open them up in like 10 years. And then how was my name?
It was good. I just had to spend time with her.
And I was because she's stuck in a lot.
The whole husband on it.
No, just the plant itself.
The crop. Not the actual house.
No, the house is fine.
Okay.
What did you get, my friend?
Right, good to go, guys. Okay, right.
It's just gonna take
Let's try the next one, please. Off you go. Okay, y equals 3 root x minus 3. Okay, we have 23 minutes. Okay. Excellent. Right, so the shape is positive. Okay.
The wrap stuff.
Starting point is root negative 3. Are they going to be instead?
Yes.
Yes, they are. Find it.
I was doing the next one.
Okay, yeah.
By next week, it's gonna be
Simon then.
Now, guys, do the thing.
How much was it like? 17?
Oh.
No, we did it.
Hey. What did you guys get for your x intercepts?
1, -1 and 1.
Good.
So are you learning to do?
Yeah, I've actually been learning this for a while, but now I've got to, I was doing Duolingo, but I got sick of Duolingo after like 700 days. Good. No, I'll go back to Duolingo, but now it's not writing as well. Okay, right. So, if I draw the graph, guys, I go to north -3. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Friendship.
My cat.
Who calls it a cat?
Right. You've got a graph that looks like that.
Oh, really?
So we good? All right. So now, okay. Remember, I don't know if we did it earlier. In the whole transformation of the graph. If I gave you like a parabola, y is equal to x squared minus 2x. Okay. And I said you shift the 3 to the left. Who remembers what we do to the equation? Okay. Check with your neighbor. 3 to the left. What would I do to that equation? And I want to shift that 3. It's 3 down, I'd minus 3 from the end. 3 up, I'd add 3 to the end. But Nina, 3 to the left, what are you going to do?
-3 from x. All x's.
But no, not minus 3, opposite. So I turn every x into
X minus 3.
x plus 3. The opposite. So if you're going left, it's plus.
Going right.
Okay. So if I gave you this, y is equal to some graph you don't even know, x to the 5 plus 7x squared, and I move that 1 to the right. What does that equation become? Your neighbor. What can you do? Why don't you move it 1 right? So the equation that you enter into computer, you tick that out, whatever that graph looks like, I have no idea what it looks like, and move it 1 to the right. So I mean, what you're going to do?
-1 from all the x's.
So you're going to end up with that. I replace every x with x minus 1. The effect will be shift the graph 1 to the right. Okay, right.
Why does
So opposite, you can think of intercepts. So I've got a graph. Okay, and the intercepts, okay, and I solve for x. Yeah, instead of having, there you have x is equal to 0. Then you're going to get x plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, so the x intercept end up being the opposite when you solve for x. So yeah, if you solve for, find the intercept, you get x minus 2. So x would be 0 or x minus 2 would be 0. Okay, so you get intercepts of 0 and 2. But here, if you replace, instead of getting x is equal to 0, you're going to end up with x plus 3 is equal to 0, which means x is equal to minus 3 would be the intercept. So it was 0, now it's become minus 3. So to get it to go to the left, we turn every x into x plus 3. Right, okay, so now we're going to really only work with absolute values. So go write down what these two equations will be. If you had y is equal to root x, absolute value of x, and you move it 4 to the left, go write down what the equation will be. And if you move it 3 into the right, as in a t, what's it going to become? Do it with the human next to you.
Yeah, explain no one reads in the law. So I have a question. Well, that's statement point thing. Would it be 0 x?
Okay.
Okay.
So, 4 to the left, what's it going to become? From floor?
Y absolute of x minus, sorry, plus 4.
Okay, so be y is equal to absolute value of x plus 4, right? And combinator, the next one?
Y is equal to absolute value x minus 3.
Okay, you're all happy with that. Now, this salient point, normally on absolute value of x, it's at 0, 0, right? I've moved forward to the left. What's the salient point going to be? -4. That would be the salient point of this one because it's gone forward to the left. It's opposite. Okay. What would this one be? Well, how's the graph move? It was at 0, 0, but it's gone 3 to the right. So the salient point would be 3, 0. So in general, the salient point, if you have y is equal to ax minus p, it will be the opposite side. Okay, if that's negative p, that's p, so it's opposite what's in the equation. Okay, so it'll be p and 0, right? Okay, but you're gonna have to go find, you're not gonna, it's gonna be, these ones are gonna do now, it's gonna be turning on the x-axis, right? So you're not gonna have to go find x intersection, you got them, there's only one, turn on the x-axis. We're going to have to find the y intersection. Okay, for these horizontal shifts. So let's find one quickly together. So if I gave you this, okay, try starting again. F of x is equal to the absolute value of x minus 2. Okay, don't tell me the shape. Pick your neighbor and what's the coordinate of the salient point. What's the shape and what's the coordinate of the salient points?
Is the drums, which was negative?
And so how's this? Think of it like this here. How's this graph shifted compared to the absolute value of it? How did it move?
It's.
2 to the? 2 to the right. So it was at 0, 0. So the new salient point will be, it's gone 2 to the right, it will be at 2, 0. Was here. Now it's gone 2 to the right. It's the opposite.
Also, if it was x plus 2, it would be on the negative side.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's opposite way. That's why when the formula would say x minus p, then the salient point would be p. That's all that is, it's the opposite side of minus. Okay. Right, what's the shape? Happy or sad? Happy, right? So it turns at 2, 0 and is happy, right? Okay, we've got the x-intercept, do you agree? Okay, so all you're going to go find is the y-intercept. So go find the y-intercept and then use the point that's symmetrical, stay with us behind next to the y-intercept. Okay. How do I find a y-intercept? Then x equals to 0, right?
sorry.
There can only be one y-intercept, right? If I said to you what the coordinates of the y-intercept, you'd write 0, 2. Well, it's not a function. You can only cut that at one point. Think of the shape. You can only cut that line. When x is 0, you're not solving an equation. The absolute value of -2 is -2.
Like that way.
No, then the format would be x is equal to the absolute value of y, which we don't do.
Wait, reword.
So go through 0, 2, which is over here. So label that. Now, what's going to be the point symmetrical? Where's the axis of symmetry going to be here? So let's just draw it for now. Okay, and I've got another thing over here. So that's going to be the basic. I'll give you full marks for that, quite honestly. Did that full marks. Okay, back. What is go fill in the coordinates of the point that's symmetrical to that point? So I normally you don't have to do it, but first of all, where is the axis of symmetry now?
X is equal to 2.
Good. So it's x is equal to 2. This line over here. You don't have to draw that in unless they ask, but the equation of the axis of symmetry is x is equal to 2. You with it? Okay. What's the coordinates of the point symmetrical to this? Well, how far do I hop to get from there to there? 2. So if I hop another 2, I've moved 4 across and 2 up. This point 4, 2 is symmetrical to 0, 2 on this graph. This is graph. Domain, x is the element of real numbers. Range, y is bigger than or equal to 0.
So,
So,
would you have to show how you work that out?
no, you don't have to show that, unless, okay. Full marks would be if you just had that and the right shape. Okay, I like to have a point in each branch, you don't have to. So quite honestly, if you just had this, that'd be full mark. Okay. But as I say, I usually use a point over there. Left. Okay, try out the next one. The phone's go 11 minutes to divide, guys. Come on.
That's.
In
Hey, you want me who you're having trained for type ones?
the.
The main so it's all on.
Oh,
Fast.
Yeah.
all right, guys, try the next one. Nothing like a fine chili clock. I don't like that chili of chocolate though.
No, it's horrible. Wage.
Comes in small sometimes.
Renee, what's the salient points do you think?
-3, 0.
Well done. Okay, so it's sad and it turns as negative 3 this one.
Sorry?
And for people watching this recording, right? Not that anyone will, right? Sum x is equal to 0. So what happens? We get y is equal to -2 times absolute value of 0 plus 3. Now this is, I remember, and a, what you're going to get confused. If I say to you this, absolute value of x is 2, then x could be 2 or x could be -2. However, the absolute value of 2 is just 2, and the absolute value of -2 is just 2. Okay. But here, the absolute value of 3 is just 3, so you get -6. You should get a salient point guard at 0, -6. No, sorry, I'm thinking cut. The y intercept, sorry. The salient point was at -3, 0. Honestly.
I get the solutions and we draw this out. We also have to like,
So normally, guys, what I do is ask you, if there are intercepts, what I normally say is, I normally stay in this question in grade 10. So I say to you, write that, determine the coordinates of the intercept. First question. Hence, sketch the graph. Okay. So then I'll get you to do a bit of work now before and then get to it. Okay.
so should we write the equation next to like our graph and?
You only really have to do that if there's more than one graph on the same to the back.
Oh,
Okay. So it goes to 0, -6. The salient point is at -3, 0. Okay. And that's it, really. Yeah? Okay, and it's hopped 1, 2, 3 across, 1, 2, 3 across, will be over there. If you did use symmetry, which you don't have to, what's the coordinates of that point symmetrical to the y-intercept? Good, it is -6, -6. You good with that, guy? Not bad, eh? Right,
Nice.
not bad, not bad. Okay.
it's a bit mean, it feels mean, but it's like.
It's what it is, it's what it is. Right, now guys, we're gonna do double shifts. Okay. So I want you to try and do. Okay, vertical and horizontal shift, yeah? If we might not. Okay, right. Speak to your neighbor, go do this first one. If you've got the graph y is equal to absolute value of x, and you shift the 2 down, okay, and 3 to the right, go right down what the equation will become. The equation become, you shift the 2 right, okay, so you're starting with the absolute value of x, and you want to do two things to it. You want to move it 2 down, and you want to move it 3 to the right. So Terminator, what do you think it's going to be?
Y equals absolute value of x minus 3. And then close to absolute value minus 2.
Y is equal to the absolute value of x minus 3 minus 2. Okay. Absolutely correct. Right. So what is the new salient point be of this one? These two things go together, sorry. What's the new salient point going to be? Was it 0, 0, right? But it's moved how? 3 to the right and 2 down. So what's the coordinates going to be of the same? 3 and
-2.
so it's opposite with the horizontal, okay, and the same as the vertical. Okay. Try do this one. Right. Sarah, this one over here. If I move it 5 up and 2 to the left, what's the equation going to become?
X plus 2.
Okay. Good. Right, you want to get that equation? Negative 2x plus 2 plus 5, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Navani, what's going to be the coordinates of the new salient point? Good. Right, try the next one, guys. So Masana, if you go 4 down and 1 to the left, what does f of x is equal to 3 root x become? You can't call it f again, eh? Don't give, yeah, f in that. You have to call it just y, unless it's actually call it h.
Okay.
And then you just say y. So y is going to be what?
Y will be equal to times absolute value 1,
Good,
and then on the outside -4.
right.
So in test, if it's like f of x equals like,
After the transformation, it can't be called f again.
oh, it has to be
So
y.
either we'll take you go full graph h by doing this, then it'll become h of x is equal to something.
Oh,
But if we just say shift it, we're going to call it y. Right, so what's the new salient point going to be, Jan?
-4.
Careful, -1, -4. Okay,
Well, so you just drop the f of x or g of x or whatever.
yeah, if it's shifted, okay. Right, and Funny boy, tell me please. Okay, what's it gonna become? Careful. Yes, you're absolutely right. You don't have to be careful. I have to be careful. X minus 5, well done. Okay, and what will that salient point be, coming at it? What?
5-2.
So the first thing you're gonna do in these questions that with the multiple shifts, okay, is you're gonna write down the salient point. Okay. So the salient point here, the only thing you have to fill in is PQ. I just want to do one with you quickly. Okay. So just fill in that PQ. Okay. Right, and then just super quick. Okay, remember that? Okay, I'll go to the next, let's just do one example. Right, okay. Right, so if I gave you this, g of x is equal to absolute value, okay, of x minus 2 minus 1. The first thing, quickly go to the shape and go tell me the coordinates of the salient point. Right, have your say, right? Salient point. 2 and -1. So I would immediately put the salient point on my diagram. 2 -1 is over here, right? And it's happy. Is it going to have x-intercept?
Yes.
Yeah, let's quickly find those together. So to find the x-intercept, okay, we're going to go naught is equal to absolute value of x minus 2 minus 1. Okay, I get the absolute value on its own, so I get 1 is equal to the absolute value of x minus 2. Okay? If the absolute value of something is equal to 1, what could be the thing inside the absolute value? And the thing inside the absolute value could be 1, or the thing inside the absolute value could be -1. Remember that? So that's 1, absolute, it will work. And if that's -1, it will also work. Why? Because the absolute value of -1 is also equal to 1. Right? Okay? So I end up with x is equal to 3, or x is equal to -1 plus 2, which is 1. So I've got two x-intercepts. So one is 3, 0. The other is 1, 0, right? Okay, so far I've got this. I've got this salient point, which you should label the salient point, guys. 2, 1. I've got that it goes through 3, 0, and it goes through 1, 0. Those should always be symmetrical about the salient point. And what's the last thing I haven't found? Had I found a y-intercept? Y-intercept x is equal to 0, and we get y is equal to absolute value of 0 minus 2 minus 1. Now, what's the absolute value of minus 2? 2, right? So I get, you have to show all the steps. So I get naught 1 is the other thing, which is over here. Right? And then I just get my ruler, join that up, join that up, and you're done. A lot easier, I think, and quicker than at the beginning when we drew these things, we use the definition, right? Okay. Thank you for that. Everybody that down?
Oh, this is. That's all.